divas, let's get into this wig install. So of course I'm starting off with making sure my wig cap is situated. Definitely gonna need a wig cap. I mean, if you don't prefer wig caps, you could get away without one, but I definitely need them, so that's what I'm starting off doing now. Not too much on my mannequin head, she's been through it, but we'll be getting into this ravishing red 13x4 frontal unit, and it's in the crazy straight texture provided by Kay's Hair Extensions. So some supplies I will be featuring today is the Wig Dealer Melting Spray. As I mentioned previously, I really enjoy using this lace spray for all of my wigs, especially for weekend wears. We'll be needing an elastic band to seal everything, or as you see here, your Diva Seal It band. You're gonna need your edge comb to just get the edges down and those little wispy hairs. You wanna have an eyebrow razor to cut the lace once we're done sealing everything down. We're gonna need some scissors. We'll need our rat tail comb because we always need a comb, right? And then we're gonna definitely need our handy dandy blow dryer just to make sure everything's dry and to speed up the process when needed. So before I put the wig on and size it comfortably, I want to make sure y'all are aware of what comes inside of my wigs by default. So you're going to have those two little connecting bands in the back just for all of the universal caps so that it can fit. You'll also have 3 combs total, 1 at the nape area and 2 on the sides and the inner cap, in the event of you not wanting to wear a wig cap. So this is what I mean when I'm like, you don't have to wear a wig cap when installing your wigs. Also, in the very back of the wig, there's a section that's a little like, it's a piece of lace that's longer than usual that can get very irritating as you wear your wig. So I always cut that off. It's really for like if you want to pull it up in a ponytail, but I typically don't. So I wanted to also show that here. So once I cut that off, we're all ready to go ahead and start installing the unit. So the first thing I want to do is, of course, make sure it does fit my head and it's comfortable before I even go about adding any adhesive and cutting any of the lace. And divas, make sure you take your time during this step just to make sure your unit is fitting comfortably to your liking. Once you put any of the adhesive on, it's going to pretty much be stuck down and you don't want to be walking around looking crazy or disappointed in your install because the hair isn't laying where you wanted it to. So I definitely forgot to mention, make sure you have some clips because this is going to be handy when you're going in to pull your hair back throughout the entire install process, but most importantly when you're going in to cut the ear tabs out, which is what we're going to do next. Y'all, I said we're like it's 2 people in this video. It's definitely just me. But anyways, you'll see me grabbing my rat tail comb, and what I'm doing is parting the section over my ear the same direction of how my ear is to like my real hairline, just because I want the wig to lay as so.
I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been.
And we've got 1 ear tab cut, and as you can see, Now the lace pretty much stops right above my ear, and I can brush that down and go on to the next side. So I sped up the next part just because y'all saw me do it the first time, but here you can see now we're all good with the lace aligning with where my ear starts.
Trying, baby, I feel wah. It's in me, I feel wah. You see me do my da. So me by that wah. When you rock out,
Alrighty, so we have both of those ear tabs cut off, and what we're gonna do next is get ready to lay the lace down with the adhesive. So you see me pulling my hair back with those same clips, and I just want to make sure again everything is lining up exactly where I want it to be. So when I go in and cut my 3 sections, we're all good to start laying the lace down. And I do want to call out that this step is optional. You don't have to cut the lace into different sections. For me, that's how I've always been able to achieve a secured install, just because, yeah, I don't know if it's just the size of my forehead, but whenever I try to do it without cutting the lace into sections, I always get ripples. So this is a method that I've ended up loving to help prevent the rippling effect once I lay down my lace. So now it's time to go in with our melting spray and just start laying everything down. So I'm going to start with my first layer, and I'm just spraying it right on the area of my hairline where I know that lace is going to be. And again, I always advise at least 2 layers, especially if you want longer wear. I wanted this to last 2 days, so for me, I would prefer at least 2 to 3 layers. And again, you just want to make sure that gets tacky, and that's when our blow dryer comes in handy. You could let it air dry, but for the sakes of this video, I wanted y'all to actually see how quickly you could install your unit with using the blow dryer and this melting spray. And as you can see, I'm going back in with another layer just because I always just needed to be extra secure on the sides. The middle portion, I could typically get that done with about 2 to 3 layers, but on the sides, I'll need about 2 to 4 layers just to make sure that's not lifting up, because it seems like that's where I start to sweat or perspirate the most first. So I just want to make sure these sides are definitely secure and all of this is dried and laid down. And always remember, before you lay the lace down, that it is tacky. That's what you see me doing with my finger, ensuring that it's tacky like a sticker before I go in and lay the lace down. So now that you have the lace laid down, you want to take your comb and comb those hairs in the same direction of how you would style it, pretty much. What you're doing is naturally pressing the lace into the melting spray, and that's giving you a very natural, transparent lay. If you can see here, it really does make the hairline look natural, and you just want to go in with the blow dryer to seal everything down. And this way it's going to make sure the full front of where all these hairs are laying down is secured, and it actually does have the melting spray on it as well. It's easy for some of the front of the lace to get laid down with the melting spray, but if you don't comb it back, you'll have kind of like a gap of where you can see your wig lifting up. Let's take a second to admire this melt. Okay, so going in and pretty much just making sure that's all dry and repeating those steps across my entire hairline. I'm just going to do the same thing for the remaining 2 sections, and then from there we'll go ahead and seal it down with our Seal It band.
potential, I just gotta see it through. If you had a twin, I would still choose you. I don't wanna rush into it if it's too soon, but I know you need to get done if you come on. Yeah. Sorry if I'm way less friendly. I got niggas tryna end me. Oh, yeah. I spilled all my emotions tonight. I'm sorry. Rolling, 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 rolling. How many more shots until you're rolling? We just need a face to face. You can pick the time and the place. You will spend some time away. Now you need to forward and give me all the work, 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 work.
You send me out there, work, 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 work. You see me do my da 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 da. Send me by that work, 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 work. When you walk out, la 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 la. When the cat from my church. Work, 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 work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work, 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 work. You see me out here, work, 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 work. You see me do me dirt, 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 dirt. You saw me by that work, 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 work. When you walk out, la 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 la. In the cafe, my da 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 da. Try me, I deserve it. No time to have you lurking.
Yeah.
You make a like, now you not like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been. But I wake up and nothing's wrong. Just get ready for work.
And what y'all see me doing here is pretty much just going back in on the areas that I need to touch up. And I'm just going in and spraying down the melting spray and going in with the blow dryer, doing the same steps I did for all 3 sections.
Before the table turn, 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 turn. Beg you something, please. Baby, don't you leave. Don't leave me stuck here in the streets. If I get another chance to, I will never, no, never neglect you. I mean, who am I to hold your best against you? I just hope that it gets to you. I hope that you see this through. I hope that you see this true. What can I say? Please recognize I'm trying, baby. I feel wah. You send me, I feel wah. You see me do my da 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 da. Send me by that wah. When you walk out.
Okay, and now I am taking those clips out and pretty much everything is secured. So I am going to grab my Diva Seal It band, of course after I do some poses, and seal everything down.
Long distance, I need you. When I see potential, I just gotta see it through. If you had a twin, I would still choose you. I don't wanna rush into it.
Fun fact about the Diva Seal It bands, it is Velcro, so they easily connect in the back, so you don't really have to worry about tying anything, and you can just let that be as secure as you need it to be. It's a great length of Velcro, so you don't have to worry about it being too loose. It actually is really tight and perfect for sealing the lace and melting it down. And I let the band stay on for about 10 minutes.
Pick the time and the place. You will spend some time away. Now you need to forward.
And now that everything is sealed and we've confirmed that the lace is pretty much melted, we can go in with our eyebrow razor and start chopping off that excess lace. We just want to make sure now the wig is aligned with our natural hairline.
work, 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 work. To me, I be work, 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 work. See me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me by that work, 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 work. When you walk a line, 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 line. In the cafe, man, da, 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 da. Drive me a dessert. Nothing to be lurking.
Yeah.
You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been. But I wake up and nothing's wrong. Just get ready for work, 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 work. To me, I be work, 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 work. You see me do me dirt, 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 dirt.
And I usually like to go back in as like cleanup purposes to just make sure my hairline and the lace is aligned as much as possible. So you'll see me going back in with scissors and my eyebrow razor to just snip off those little pieces that don't align with the overall frame of my hairline.
Never neglect you. I mean, who am I to hold your best against you? I just hope that it gets to you. I hope that you see this through. I hope that you see this true. What can I say? Please recognize I'm trying, baby. I feel why. It's me, I feel why.
Now I'll take my melting spray and my handy dandy popsicle stick, and I'm just going to spray the melting spray on the end of the popsicle stick and literally go and touch up the edges of the lace where it was probably pulled up a little when I started cutting the excess lace. So you just want to take your time and do this around the entire hairline and all areas where you can really see that the lace is not melting down.
I would still choose you. I don't wanna rush into it if it's too soon, but I know you need to get done, 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 done. If you come on, yeah. Sorry if I'm way less friendly. I got niggas tryna end me. Oh, yeah. I spilled all my emotions tonight. I'm sorry. Rolling, 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 rolling. How many more shots until you're rolling? We just need a face to face. You can pick the time and the place. You will spend some time away. Now you need to fall.
And as you can see, there was a piece right over my ear that was still sticking up, so I just went back in with the spray and made sure that was laid down. And then of course, to seal everything, once again we're going to take our blow dryer and we're just going to go all across our hairline just to make sure it's all dry before we set it with the Seal It band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work, 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 work. To me, I be work, 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 work. See me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me by that work, 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 work. When you walk a line, 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 line. In the cafe, man, da, 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 da. Drive me a dessert. Nothing to be lurking.
Yeah.
You make a like, now you don't like.
And like I mentioned, now that we've made sure we've touched everything up and ensured that all of the little remaining pieces that really didn't get laid down are now melted down, we're going to go back in with that Seal It band and let that sit for another 10 minutes.
All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been.
And now when I remove this Seal It band, you will see how melted everything is now compared to how it was previously before we did the touch up. So at this point, divas, it's really customizing your hairline to your liking. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Ebin edge control and my edge brush, and going back and forth between the comb and the brush ends, I'm just going to give myself a little bit of like an edge, slight baby hair if you want to call it. This is normally how I would usually wear my edges if I were to have my real hair out. So I like to do my wig edges kind of similar. So sometimes I don't prefer any of like the swoops. It just depends on the look of the unit that I'm going for. But for the case of this, but for the sakes of this video, I wanted to at least show y'all how I add in a little bit of baby hairs to just give it more of that natural feel.
Potential, I just gotta see it through. If you had a twin, I would still choose you. I don't wanna rush into it if it's too soon, but I know you need to get done if you come on. Yeah. Sorry if I'm way less friendly. I got niggas tryna end me. Oh, yeah. I spilled all my emotions tonight. I'm sorry. Rolling. How many more shots until you're rolling? We just need a face to face. You can pick the time and the place. You will spend some time away. Now you need to forward and give me all the work.
You send me out there, work. You see me do my da. Something about that work.
So whenever I do add any of like the edges to my units, I do put the band on again to seal that down for about another 5 to 10-ish minutes. And you will see here how much that really does help melt everything into your skin. Ooh, I am loving this red, y'all. And that pretty much completes this video, Diva fam. If you are interested in any of my units or products, head over to my website. I'll have that linked below. And if you enjoyed this video, definitely go ahead and like it. Subscribe to my channel for more videos, and feel free to share. Talk to you later. Bye.